Hi and welcome to this operational issue video. I'm not much into electronics and electrics and wiring and things like that, but what I wanted to find out was if you have a locomotive like the LMS Duchess of Abercorn here, an express locomotive, so they always were in a forward direction pulling their rake of coaches. So let's say it's just pulled into the station with a rake of coaches here. How do you get to make the return journey? How do you get that locomotive to face the other way around, back up the other end of its rake of coaches? Now, of course, one way of doing this, traditionally in the real world, there would be a branch line off to a turntable. So then it turns the train round and the locomotive round and gets back onto the track. Another way of doing it is, on your layout, is to have a reverse loop. So you would then expect your locomotive to become a runaway locomotive going all the way around your whole circuit possibly, just to use that reverse loop to come back to where it originally was, to take its train again to go back around your circuit. Or, of course, you can have a hand coming out of the sky and just lifting it off the track and moving it to where it needs to be. So it got me thinking, rather than a turntable or using a full length reverse loop, it popped into my mind, could I do something similar to a reverse loop, but with the space of more of a turntable? And so this is what I came up with. So we're using 3 sets of points. 1, 2, 3. And this area here. As I say, I'm not into electronics and things, so you've got to be careful about not creating short circuits. And so these controllers I'm using are basic ones which come with the Hornby train sets. And there's our locomotive doing its reverse run. And stop it there. Turn the controller back down to 0 basically, and change the points there. And now we have this previously isolated section of track with its own controller. And I don't know which direction it's going to go. Probably turn that up. I can hear movement, yeah. So we go that way, change direction. And hey presto, it's going forward now. And change the point backwards and change the points down here as well, and resume with this controller. Change the direction, there we go. And here she comes. Perfect. And now, if that were a station, she would now be at the front of her rake of coaches to go back on her next journey. And so all I used was, as I say, 2 basic Hornby controllers, just with isolating the tracks. Now, for me, I'm not saying you should use this. I'm not even saying it's the best way at all. And you've got to be careful, as I say, of short circuits and overpowering lines and things if you get it wrong. But the advantage to me is you don't have to spend money on a turntable. If you've already got the points and the controllers from train sets, you can do this. It's a similar size, I think, to a turntable. And the other advantage, I think, of this method is it's, I think, more scenic, because if you've got a turntable, it's going to be fairly dirty, grimy, industrialized type of area, really. Whereas this way, you can do all sorts of things. You can have like a tunnel mouth going off there, and then a bridge or something going across one or two tracks. Here you can have maybe a lake, a fishing lake or something in the center here. You know, all sorts of different things that you can do from a scenic perspective. So that's why I was just intrigued to see if I could make it work electronically with the controllers, and it does work. And I just thought I'd share it with you. Thanks for watching.